Hello and welcome to Core Finance in association with the Next Exchange. I'm joined today by Eddy Travia of Coinsilium, a very exciting company and certainly in a very exciting space, but I'll let you explain to our viewers and potential investors what you do. So as a company, what do you do and where do you operate, Eddy?
So we have been in London since 2014. I've co-founded the company earlier, the predecessor of Coinsilium, in 2013 out of Hong Kong. But we moved to London in 2014 and the idea was to list on a public exchange, which we have done in December 2015. And from the beginning we started helping the development of early stage blockchain companies. We've done that at the beginning of Sitcoin, which was the name of the previous company. And then we raised funds in the UK and we continue doing so. We've been doing this for the last 3 years and we are helping blockchain companies to develop, providing advisory services, guiding them and helping them through the first stages of their early startup life, really. And these companies are growing and they're becoming actual leaders in their space. And we hope to help more and more leaders in the world of blockchain.
So as chief executive of this company, can you just explain to our viewers, you're investing in these companies,
yes,
like an incubator fund almost, but you're also providing advisory services. So the provision of these services, is this beyond the initial investment? Are you growing with the company and also growing with your investments at the same time?
So initially we had the incubator model and in 2016 we launched an accelerator program. So the idea was to frame this into a very specific timeline. So we did that in 3 months. But this year, with the advent of initial coin offerings and the fact that blockchain is more understood and more popular, there are many new companies emerging in this space. So many that actually we can supply and we can provide advisory services unrelated to our investments. So for example, we can start generating revenues through the provision of advisory services to companies in which we are not investing cash or services or funds in any way. So this is a new thing for us, is the fact that we are being recognized as having an experience and expertise and know-how in this space and a network that can help these companies to grow. So this is a new activity, advisory services, and we're helping building the token model. We're helping structure the token model in a way that can be accepted by the market. And of course, we are following very closely the whole token sale market, which is evolving rapidly and changing as well. So things that were easy maybe 6 months ago are not so easy today. And we're helping these companies like a shortcut to really find the right resources and to adapt to the market and the new environment.
So we could obviously talk for hours about blockchains and ICOs. Would you mind giving a very brief overview for investors that are new to blockchain and ICOs, the thing in cryptocurrencies, the whole sector? Just give them a brief overview of what that is and why potentially some may see that as the future.
So initially there was Bitcoin back in 2009, and blockchain was the underlying technology helping to make sure that you can only spend 1 Bitcoin or a fraction of a Bitcoin from one single wallet at a time. So blockchain is really the infrastructure technology for transactions in digital currencies. What it really is, it's a network of nodes which are replicating a database that we also call the ledger. That's why distributed ledger technology is often associated or includes blockchain. And all these nodes are replicating the transactions that are validated by the network. So it basically created a decentralized system for transferring value or making payments, which is first very convenient, very quick, and it completely circumvents the traditional banking and payment system. So it's quite interesting. It makes it a very resilient system. So blockchain was seen as this technology. In 2016, Harvard Business Review qualified blockchain as a foundational technology. So we're talking about an impact that is possibly as important, as deep in our lives as internet. So we all know that we cannot survive today without email, internet, mobile apps, right? And this is moving now to what we call the Internet of Value, which is actually the transactions and our life in relation to money, value, and today now assets. So a lot of the token sales are talking about asset tokenization. We're talking about more sophisticated instruments, and the basis is still blockchain. And without blockchain, you cannot do smart contracts. And most of the tokens are working on smart contracts in the sense that you need to send cryptocurrency, for example, Ether or Bitcoin, and in exchange you will get a newly minted token by these token sales. So basically, blockchain is the basis and the foundation technology for all these new exciting opportunities.
First off, thank you for the overview. That's probably the most succinct and to the point and clear description I've had of that whole space. For investors coming into the market, they may say, well, I can try and invest in these startup companies myself. What value does Coinsilium give to shareholders in that sense?
Initially in 2015, when we were working on this model of actually listing on a public exchange, the idea was at the time, first of all, there were few startups and there were few investors. So it was a way to both make it more legitimate and at the same time democratize the system. If you were not a VC in Silicon Valley, you would have never heard about a lot of these startups because they were starting very early and from tech backgrounds, and we also invest all over the world, so it's not only about UK companies. So I think we bring that kind of scope, global scope, and very early access to these propositions and these opportunities. And now, of course, the market is different. So now with the ICOs, a lot of investors could directly invest in token sales, but it actually takes a lot of work. All these token sales publish white papers, which are maybe 50 to 80 or more pages long. A lot of technical descriptions, and as well, you need to know the space to understand which tokens could work or not work. And that's one way. But of course, we still have equity plays, and in equity is all about knowing the people and knowing the team. So, for example, when we invested in Factom, in RSK, and in this kind of companies, we knew the team almost before they started these projects. So maybe we're talking about 2013, 2014, a very early stage of blockchain as an ecosystem where people start investing in. So I think that's what we bring. We bring expertise and the scope and the variety of opportunities that you wouldn't have if you didn't spend 24 hours or what you can spend every day or every week on this space.
So you're doing the hard work, so investors don't have to.
Yes, we're doing the hard work, and at the same time, we are direct connection with this ecosystem.
And looking ahead, we're coming into the end of 2017. It's been an exciting time, certainly for the blockchain sector and environment. As we move into the end of the year, what announcements or developments could investors expect from Coinsilium?
So we had a very exciting year because, first of all, our share price has done very well, which is great, and I think emphasizes the work we've been doing since the beginning. This year, of course, digital currency prices have gone up, which is always helpful, always attracts attention. But real blockchain project, real blockchain applications are happening. So 2016 was when a lot of institutions looked at it, and 2017 they started really working with it. Of course, still big banks or insurance companies are experimenting with the technology, but everybody feels that blockchain is going to be here for a long time, and it's going to really help a lot of projects and a lot of large institutions work and streamline their operations. So in terms of big news for us, I think the main one, and we have been working very closely with them since 2013, but really we have invested in at the end of 2015, beginning 2016, is RSK. So RSK Labs developed very early a smart contract platform, and it hasn't had until now the traction of Ethereum. First of all, because they're still a test net, so people are still trying the platform and they are fine-tuning it. But we expect that in December 2017, so at the end of this year, they're going to announce going on the mainnet, which means companies and individuals can use it. So we're very excited about this, and we plan to support them with this public launch of the actual mainnet.
And looking forward to next year, I'm sure lots there's going to be a lot of developments in the blockchain sector. Anything else investors should be aware of or look forward to?
So I think the ICO market, token sale market, is going to change a little bit. And although in terms of funding, it represents a great multiple of actually what VCs and traditional investors have put in this space. Mm-hmm. So ICOs have raised until now about $3 billion. But I think a lot of these projects have raised too quickly. And too much, actually, for some of them. Mm-hmm. So I think we're going to see a consolidation where investors go a bit back to basics, right? So that we don't create a bubble of projects which are overfunded and overvalued. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, we can help. We can help with assessing this project, and that's why we work with Gibraltar, for example. So we have created our own entity there called TerraStream, which is actually a project financing operation, which is not developed yet. We're working with both the authorities, the Financial Service Commission to find the right, and the lawyers there mainly to find the right model and to make sure that we can go under the license that they're building for DLT framework. So we want to work with these jurisdictions where token sales and actually any company engaging in token activities are going to be regulated, and we can plan on the long term for interesting investment opportunities. So I think 2018 will be consolidation and also helping RSK develop their global network of partners and clients.
Well, Eddy, it sounds like a very exciting time in the blockchain space, and certainly for your company. But in the meantime, we're going to have to finish there. As I say, we could talk forever about blockchain, and we hopefully get you back on the show in the new year to discuss the developments. But in the meantime, Eddy Travia, Chief Executive of Coinsilium, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.